You heavens above, rain down my righteousness. Let the clouds shower it down. Let the earth open wide. Let salvation spring up. Let righteousness flourish with it. I, the Lord, have created it. Isaiah 45:8 NIV.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the garden. First, I'd like to give honor to those who have been widowed or are in a widowhood season, those who are grieving or bereaved in any way, and those who are going through a hard time. Hello, welcome. You're seen, you're loved, and you are prayed for. I wanted to say thank you again. Like, the numbers have more than doubled since we started, and I realized that was a lot of you new subscribers are here because you saw my wedding video, and like, I never in a million years thought that it would get as many views as it has, let alone that you would be so kind as to subscribe and like come along this journey with me and with us. So I'm like seriously grateful. Thank you guys for coming along on this journey. All right, today we are in the south garden because this is the south side of the house. It gets a ton of sun, and that's good for winter. We are going to plant a lot of peas today. I don't think I'm gonna plant all these different packs because I did that last time and I didn't have great germination. But I don't know, you know, I get out here and I just see how I feel. So this one's already open, this one's open, so maybe we'll just do these today. And I have some that I'm gonna pull because they're spent. I didn't really harvest off of these because I didn't, wow, you see that rebound? I didn't oh my goodness, wow. Right, that was 3 times. I didn't harvest off of these because y'all, so much is going on out here. I might need to go in. I didn't harvest off of these because I didn't fertilize them. It was cold. It had been wet this winter and I just really didn't want to come out here. So hopefully off of these new ones that I'm planting, I will actually get some significant harvest. Now, don't get me wrong, when I would walk out here and I'd see some pods, I would go ahead and just snack on those pods in passing. But I didn't have like a substantial harvest where I can show you like, oh, here's a Ziploc bag full of greens, you know. But with these, my goal is to just have them for fresh eating. So I'm gonna show you in the bed before we get started, show you what's still growing, what needs to be harvested. Obviously, I need to do a carrot harvest, but I don't think I'm gonna do that today. I need to harvest the remaining carrots, and then maybe what's left in this bed will grow. So let's do that. Let me just show you around this bed. Okay, so in this bed, of course, we have the carrots that I need to harvest. These are probably some decent sized carrots. This one, look, it's barely in any soil, but it's still growing. I did replant some of the smaller carrots I harvested to give them a chance to get bigger. I have some Bloomsdale spinach that has come up in these beds, but nothing's really doing spectacular because I don't fertilize. In the winter, I am probably the most terrible at garden maintenance because the days get rainy, they're cold, and I don't come outside. So we have a few pea plants left from that first time I planted peas. I'm gonna leave those to keep growing, and we're gonna plant some new peas today. Okay, the sun is like hitting extremely bright, but we're gonna go ahead and plant some pea plants. Now, I plant peas like I plant beans, and I plant them with a buddy. So I will plant 2 peas per hole. Because I know the beans grew better that way. So why not try it on the peas? One thing I love about the garden, to those of you who are new to gardening or you just want to try, you kind of look at different YouTube channels and you think, you know what, this is my year to try garden, do it. Like, I love YouTube channels. Hey, listen, I get a lot of my information from other YouTube channels. I'll put a couple on the screen. Urban Container Gardening is one of them, and I gotta put the other ones that I have gotten some good advice from. But I love even the bigger channels where they've been doing it longer and they've got the science down and they've got the reasons, and you learn a lot. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna teach you some things on this channel, but I'm like fumbling my way through. So all that to say, don't be scared to just try. You know, just get out there and try. A lot of gardening, really, I think the totality of gardening has come through trial and error. Like somebody had to come out, plant some things, see if it would work, and they had success, and so they did it, and they shared their discoveries with others. So don't be scared to get out there and try. Some of it is gonna die. You'll forget about some of it. You'll have some days where you just don't want to go outside, and you won't, and things will die, and that's okay. You learn that way. You learn what plants are hardy, what plants work for you, what plants you actually like to eat. Some plants, I plant them not because I'm really gonna eat them, but I just like how pretty they are. Okra is probably one of those. I'm terrible about harvesting my okra. Terrible. I plant it. I love to plant the burgundy okra, but I rarely do I harvest it and eat it. Rarely. But I just like to come out and look at it. I let it get giant, way beyond eating size, and then I let it dry on the stalk, and I use it for decoration sometimes in like different arrangements and things. So a lot of gardening, if you're new to gardening, is just finding what works for you through a lot of trial and error. I also want to follow up on what we planted over here, and that is these tulips. Oh my, guys, they're coming up and they're so beautiful when they just start to break through the soil. Let me get you in closer so you can see. Gigi, hey girl. Okay, hello and welcome back to the vlog. It is a very rainy day today. You might hear my laundry going in the background, so please excuse me, but we're just gonna do something indoors that I've been meaning to do over several weeks now, and that is make a DIY body balm. This is something that I use to keep my skin moisturized, and I'm gonna show you the herbs that we grew last year in the garden that I've dried, and I'm going to incorporate into the balm for this year. Here we go. So first you're gonna need a crock pot. I use this one. It's just an old one that I got from a thrift store. It has a ding in it. It doesn't look great, but it's perfect for just melting oils and making body balm. The second thing you're going to need is organic oils. I will be using avocado oil and coconut oil to make this body balm. Oh man, this is on here tight. Wow. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is add our oils. I have the crock pot on low, and I've had it on for about 20 minutes so that it can be warm enough so it can start melting this coconut oil. So the amount of, I'm gonna step to this side, the amount of oil that you use depends on how many containers you would need to fill. So that brings me to the third thing you need, and that is 10 containers of some sort, or you can use glass jars. Whatever you prefer, that's a matter of personal preference. I have both, and I'm going to use both. I am actually going to use all of this coconut oil because I make enough body balm to last an entire year. I don't use store-bought lotions on my skin. I make my own using these ingredients that I'm showing you right now. So I'm going to make enough to last me all year. And now I'm going to add avocado oil. And remember, we're going to keep this going on low or you will burn your oil, and that'll just result in a body balm that smells like burnt oil, which I did last year. I have marigold. I have basil. I have Genovese basil and broadleaf, or Genovese and broadleaf basil, I believe. If I have it wrong, I'll put it on the screen. So basil, I have lots of basil. Of course, you have to have lavender. And somewhere in here, I have just a little bit of hibiscus, maybe just one flower, and I can't find it. But this is my mix. It is delightfully aromatic. This is what is going to go into my oil, and the scent won't be as bright as it is smelling it in here, but I will be able to, and you should be able to smell it in your oils. And this, oh, it smells really good. So I'm gonna put all of these. I'm not gonna pick anything off of the stem or anything. All of it is going to go directly into the pot, and we will use our sieve to strain it out. Everything here is dry because I don't want any water in this oil to make the oil go rancid. So all of this stuff has been drying since the close of the season, and my season closed out about in October. So some of this was drying prior to October because I just dried it as I harvested it. Oh, there's a basil in it. And basil just has those wonderful benefits for the skin. Okay, so this is what it all looks like, steeping in the oil. And we are going to let this steep a minimum of 12 hours. Mine is going to steep longer. I am actually going to go for 24 hours so that I can make sure the oil captures all the benefits of each flower and herb. Okay, y'all, the last thing I'm going to add to this body balm recipe is chrysanthemum. These chrysanthemums were a maroon, but they dried like a deep purple, which is even prettier. I do actually hope that this color will bleed over into the oil, but I'm actually using them for other benefits, which I'm going to share with you. I still have this on low, but I actually think I'm gonna turn it to keep warm overnight. Okay. Now I want to discuss with you, I had to take notes, guys, because this is too many benefits for me to remember like off the top of my head, and I can't tell you how many outtakes I have trying to do this without notes. So I'm just gonna read it. Normally, you know, I don't do that, but I'm just gonna read it. If you see me looking off camera, it's because my husband is like to my 3 o'clock position and he keeps looking over here, and I'm trying not to laugh. So, okay, coconut oil is antimicrobial. It kills harmful or unhelpful microorganisms. It reduces inflammation because of its antioxidant boosting properties. It contains the fatty acids lauric acid and capric acid, which create an antimicrobial effect and fight against bacteria and fungus. Avocado oil. You can tell I'm not like a weather person. What are those people? What are those people, babe? The news people, news anchors. I'm not them because like reading and talking is not my thing. But anyway, avocado oil is a natural UV protectant. It has vitamin E, omega-9, omega-6. It can, one thing about avocado oil I love is it can treat plaque psoriasis. That also includes like dandruff on your scalp and eczema, and it's an anti-inflammatory. Basil is like my favorite thing to put in skincare products. Basil is an antifungal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. It prevents acne, and it is an excellent I can't read my own writing. Help me. What is this? Oh, it's an excellent pore cleanser. Woo. Okay. It also has antioxidants for anti-aging. It's a lot of like tongue twisty things. Marigold stimulates collagen production, and I had quite a bit of marigold in the crock pot as well. Chrysanthemum, the last thing I added, contains beta carotene, which regenerates cells, skin cells. It has polyphenols. Now this is gonna be difficult. I ain't gonna lie. Quercetin, lutein, apigenin. I might just put those on the screen because I'm sure I mispronounced all that. And they just simply help fight aging, so they're anti-aging. Lavender, of course, is it's a natural soother for like everything you use it for, but it also soothes skin. And I had like one hibiscus flower, so hibiscus contains vitamin A and is an anti-inflammatory. Okay, you all, here is where I have some lost footage. So after you do the first strain to get the big particles out, you need to get a second bowl and use a sieve to get the finer particles out. Then the second lost footage I have is of me adding the beeswax. Those white pellets are pelleted beeswax, organic pelleted white beeswax. The beeswax is to make the product thicker so that it will set. You are going to add the pelleted beeswax into hot liquid. Now at this point, the liquid has become saturated with the beeswax and no more is going to melt in. So I then took my sieve to scoop off the excess pelleted beeswax. Okay, so the last step is simply to put your body balm into tin containers or glass jars so that it can sit and set. This is a messy process, so if you want to use some type of glove so that your hands aren't super oily, I've done that in the past. I also always try to use a towel so I don't have oil everywhere. All right, y'all, not gonna lie, I'm always nervous about the setting process, even though I see that the beeswax hasn't melted and obviously the oil has met its maximum capacity for holding anything else. I always think that somehow my balm is not gonna set, but you can see that it's already starting to set. It's a little liquidy under there still, but I figure in about an hour this will be perfectly set. Let's check back then. Another fun thing I like to do is if I have dried flowers left or I reserve some at this point, I like to stick them while it's still a bit wet. Jazz it up a bit. And here's the final result. Y'all, these turned out absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna share my recipe in the description box. If you have a recipe for DIY body balm, please share it in the comments. Thank you all for joining me today, for liking and subscribing. The Lord bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you. Until next time,